at all.
I'm a champion. Where you at?
The only champion in the DMV at 130.
The only champion in the
Floyd Mayweather Jr., the only champion in the DMV at 130, doesn't hold back when expressing his opinions, and this time he has some serious advice for Lamont Roach Jr. Considering that Roach is scheduled to face Tank Davis on March 1st of next year, Mayweather is making it apparent that Roach should reconsider before facing Davis in the ring. Music Tank is one of the most feared fighters in the sport today. His mix of speed, power, and ring IQ has left a path of devastated opponents in his wake. The battle is set to take place at the Barclays Center in Brooklyn, New York. It will take place on a huge platform, and the stakes could not be greater. I'm going to beat his ass.
I'm gonna beat his ass and y'all talking. Y'all better be quiet. I don't give a fuck about all that.
Like twisted up _ applause, Mayweather has been a pivotal player in Davis's ascent and has unparalleled expertise in the boxing industry as a promoter and boxer. He has first-hand knowledge of what it's like to prepare for and plan for the biggest fights, which is why his statements are so powerful. When it comes to lightweight, Gervonta is a different animal. Mayweather recently stated that Lamont is a skilled fighter. Don't get me wrong, he is skilled, but this is a different level. You're not just putting him in the ring with any lightweight, you're putting him there to feed his ego and give him an easy victory.
What they mean? I love Lemon. I don't like Floyd, motherfucker. No, you don't. EJ do the trash talk.
Lee, it's uncommon to hear Mayweather talk so bluntly about a fighter's chances, especially one who isn't in his stable, but his worry is grounded in truth. I don't like Florida motherfu. Now that you're down, EJ do the trash. Roach, the current WBA super featherweight champion, will be weighing 130 pounds for this bout. Although Roach has shown himself to be a technically proficient and skilled fighter, it will be difficult to lift 135 pounds to take on Davis. For Roach, this fight is about making a statement. He has been discussing his confidence in taking on Davis and pointing out what he believes to be shortcomings in Tank style, and the punches are hitting harder and the pace is relentless.
I think he actually took this fight for the naysayers and all this and all the people talking shit about the fight. I think he actually took the fight because he know that I'm a dog. And, he wanted to prove his skills against it.
In my opinion, he took the fight because he knew I was a dog and wanted to demonstrate his abilities against a dog because he is explosive. That's why I believe he did it, despite everything that has been said about it. Yes, as Roach stated in an interview, he is also reckless. There are weaknesses in his game. I have studied him and I know what to do now. Davis is not only renowned for his strength, he is also a highly intelligent fighter whose ability to set traps, adjust mid-fight, and finish opponents when he sees an opening is unmatched in the lightweight division. Take a look at his recent fights against Hector Luis Garcia, where he methodically broke down his opponent before forcing a stoppage. With a well-timed body shot that left Garcia unable to continue, he delivered one of the year's most talked-about knockouts.
It looked like he was even in position, Davis, to get a lot of leverage on that left hand. But he got more than enough and landed it at the perfect spot, correct?
Didn't appear to be in a position to use his left hand much, but he managed to obtain more than enough leverage and land in the ideal area. The risk for Roach lies not just in Davis's strength, but also in his capacity to dominate the battle from beginning to end. This was highlighted by Mayweather when discussing Roach's possibilities. Tank is more than just a fighter. Floyd claimed that he is quick and intelligent, and that you cannot train for the kind of power he possesses since it is unique. Despite Mayweather's concerns, Roach is pushing forward, and the fight's buildup has already been intense, with tensions running high at every encounter between the two fighters. Lamont needs to give this some serious thought because once you're in there with a Tank, there's no turning back.
So when they start talking, when the people who I fight, when they start talking, that's when y'all get dumb. I'm gonna beat his ass.
He can't do shit. Wait, I don't give a fuck.
So y'all better.
You should all keep quiet because when the _ and the people I fight with start talking, that's when you guys get D. I'm going to beat his ass _ for real. Lamont, when they meet on March 1st at the Barclays Center, Roach Jr. is certain that his habit of slowly analyzing and biding his time will be his undoing. He believes he has the key to cracking Tank's code, and it all boils down to what he believes to be Tank's one fatal flaw: Davis' tendency to give up the early rounds in order to study his opponent. Roach stated unequivocally that he had no intention of allowing Davis to settle in. Roach stated that he will make a mistake with me if he wants to spend the first few rounds trying to figure me out. In such case, I will take my moment to knock him out.
I say 9th round.
What?
I say 9th round.
You said 9?
Yeah.
What's your response to that, Lamont?
Look, he got scared. Look, he looked at 9.
I'm telling him, you saying you going down in a...
I say end round, and you respond, 9th round, what do you think of Lamont's terrified expression as he looks at Knight? I'm telling you that you're going down tonight. Roach's point of view has merit. Tank frequently appears passive in the first few frames because to his meticulous approach, giving his opponents a false sense of control. As the battle goes on, Davis usually takes in the information and carefully dismantles his opponents piece by piece. Fans have grown accustomed to this pattern, which fighters like Roach think they can take advantage of, but Roach might be missing one important detail. This alleged error has been the key to Tank's 28 knockout wins, is not reluctance but rather a calculated tactic that one Tank has mastered over the years. It's a game of patience and a trap meant to trick fighters into thinking they have the advantage before Davis unleashes a crushing blow. Music, for instance, consider Frank Martin. When Martin entered the ring, Davis shared many of the same beliefs as Roach. However, Martin had a well-thought-out approach that prioritized unpredictability, as well as excellent footwork. For a moment, it appeared that Martin might have neutralized Davis's strength by using the ring to his advantage and fumbling with rhythm combinations, but Tank changed tactics as usual, finding his openings and letting loose his deadly force. Roach is determined to write a different story, and perhaps he will, but if history has taught us anything, it is that underestimating Tank's calculated approach can be the biggest mistake of all. Martin's movement and unpredictability weren't enough to save him in the end, and he ended up on the canvas, a victim of the very thing he thought he could avoid.
Why was it so easy when he fought Frank Martin?
Frank Martin was inexperienced and nervous. You know, it is what it is. It's going to be a different fight when I'm in there. He's going to be a different fighter when he's fighting me.
Hey, what's your game plan?
Whoop his ass. I'm always looking for a knockout. No matter what, I'm always prepared for 12 rounds. But I'm always looking for a knockout, and if I get the chance, I'm going to try to knock.
Why did he fight so easily? Martin, Frank, I'm always looking for a knockout, so no matter what, I'm always prepared for 12 rounds, but I'm always looking for a knockout, and if I get the chance, I'm going to try to knock his head off. It's going to be a different fight when I'm in there, and he's going to be a different fighter. Frank Martin was, nervous and inexperienced. On the surface, Floyd praised Lamont, calling him tough with sneaky power. But anyone who understands the game knows that Tank isn't just hyping Roach, because he believes he's creating the illusion of a challenge, because no fighter wants to admit they're going into a fight they know they'll dominate. This is one of the best fruits that have come out of Mayweather's garden. He's a knockout artist, a showman, and a fighter who knows how to sell a fight.
Just telling me just stay calm. I always like to listen to Floyd when it comes to big stages like this, because he's the only one that been in my shoes and been like in these type of fights. You know what I mean? So I always try to stay close to Floyd when stuff like this happens. You know what I mean?
He told me to keep calm. I always enjoy listening to Floyd on large stages like this because he's the only one who has been in my position and has been in fights like this. I always try to stay close to Floyd in situations like this so that everyone knows how I handle things. We know Davis is a finisher. He's the type of fighter who doesn't just win, he destroys. However, rather than dismissing Roach outright, he carefully sprinkled in just enough respect to make it seem like this fight could be competitive. He's tough and has had cunning power since we were kids. But let's face it, Tank doesn't need to study Roach much because he's already faced Roach in the amateurs and defeated him twice. Those early fights gave him all the insight he needed. I haven't been watching his fights too much, but I have been in the gym with him, so I know how he moves. Davis won't come out and declare this fight a mismatch, even if Roach is skilled but well below Tank's level.
Sell tickets. He's got athletes coming out. He's got celebrities coming to his fights. And not only that, he finishes the show with knockouts. He's never in boring fights. What would we always say about Floyd? Yes, he's a big star and everyone would come out to watch him fight. Yep. But a lot of times after you bought his pay-per-views, you were like, oh man, I did it again. I bought another pay-per-view where and Floyd, yes, but
he is able to sell tickets. He never does dull fights. And he has athletes and celebrities attending his bouts. In addition, he ends the event with knockouts. What would we always say about Floyd? Sure, he's a big star, and people would come out to watch him fight, but many times after purchasing one of his pay-per-views, you would think, oh man, I did it again. I bought another pay-per-view where Floyd would say, yes, but I would kill the hype and Tank is too smart for that. By highlighting Roach's strength and toughness, he's laying the groundwork for fans to think this is a worthy challenge. Building up your opponent is a classic boxing promotion tactic that makes crushing them appear even more impressive.
And I promise you, you better lead them home. You better lead the females home. On my mother, you better lead the females home and the kids. On my mother. Now,
even his Tank praised Roach's confidence was evident. He made it clear that he was prepared to handle business, will determine what he excels at and take it away from him. He asserted calmly and confidently that only a combatant at the peak of his abilities can have. And I swear to you that you should leave them at home. You should leave the women's house on my mother. You should leave the children's house on my mother. Now, listen to this. It's not conceit, it's the voice of a guy who has done this time and time again. The thing about Davis is that he's ruthless. Tank is not just a power puncher, he's a strategist who knows how to take down fighters.
My whole family is from DC. My whole family, like my entire family.
Don't bring them. Don't bring them.
For what?
Don't bring them. I'm telling you,
They
don't
gonna
bring
celebrate with me.
Don't bring them.
It's gonna be a party on your floor.
I'm gonna let y'all know something. His father was up here shaking what's the name.
When he sees an opening, he seizes it without hesitation. Then, he said, he better not bring his family. Tank warned. I've been saying that he might be my people, but we need to get it on. I don't care who he comes with, none of them can stop this. My entire family is from Washington, D.C. I'm telling you, my whole family, don't bring them because they're going to rejoice with me. You hear me? Bring them, it's going to be a party, and I'm going to tell you something. The current WBA super featherweight champion from Washington, D.C., Lamont Roach Jr., made a daring move up in weight to face Tank at the press conference. Roach had the energy of a man with something to prove. I have DC in here, he said, gesturing to the crowd that had gathered to support him. They know what's up and they know what's up with me, and his team knows mine. Work closely with him, we have a lot for him, and on March 1st, we'll kick some. Roach has a strong background demonstrating technique, patience, and technical ability, and it's obvious that he believes in himself. However, facing Davis in the ring is a different kind of challenge.
Just overall being something that he's not been in the ring with. I'm the total package, and honestly, sometimes I think he doubts himself. But I'm a competitor, and I feel like I'm the best. So I'm a show up.
When he talks about you not bringing your family, what goes through your mind?
He acknowledged their amateur history, but insisted that he's a different fighter. Now I've gotten better in every aspect since the amateurs. He said I was one of the best boxers in the country as an amateur, and I'm much better now. However, he didn't stop there. He doubled down talking about his confidence and what he plans to do in the ring. I can do whatever I want. He's not doing anything to me. He's got nothing for me. Since it's just the two of us, he can't worry about these other people. However, the fact that this man is gaining weight in order to take on one of the sport's most deadly punchers means that Tank's strength isn't just a physical weapon, it's also a psychological one.